What up, people? How we doing tonight? You been having a good time? Not yet, maybe now? I don't know. Thanks for stopping in. I just doing a little altitude for a little while, kind of checking in, seeing how people are doing. I was planning on actually starting up a, what was it, Sky Factory or Skyblock 2? Sky Factory 2, I think. Instance. I got a Minecraft instance and server all set up, but it took a lot longer than I expected to kind of get it up and running. So I think I'm gonna wait for that for another day. But I do know that I've never played any of the Sky whatever series. I mean, I've been aware of them, but I've never watched them. I've never played them. So from what I can tell, logging in, there's a tree and not much else. So I don't know how that works, but I kind of figured we'd mix it up a little and see if we couldn't get some more stuff on. I've also kind of been soliciting people's opinions on what they want to see going on and you know, what they'd find interesting, and I don't know, various options. Seems like a lot of people want to see me get scared of things. I'm not big on scary games, and everyone's like, perfect! Then you need to play all the scary games, because then you're gonna scream like a little girl and jump and squeal and yelp, and we love that. So besides the fact that you should all question your sadistic tendencies, some I'm more willing to consider than others. I really like Alien Isolation. I've actually watched an entire playthrough of it, so you know, I wouldn't be completely unknown to me, but I've watched a playthrough of it through Markiplier and quite enjoyed the game and loved it vicariously without me having to actually be the one to be scared and get freaked out and stuff. So that was fabulous. But apparently people want to see me get, you know, all those things. So that's one thing that I might do. Let's see what their other options was. The Minecraft series. Some people want to see ultra hardcore. Some people want to see like a Skyblock series, like I've been thinking about, or various, you know, other options that way. So kind of, you know, as I said, I've been looking into. I got myself a server. I've always ran my own, but it's. I have a co-located machine that's I could run off of the server, but I actually got the computer off eBay for $40, and you know, it works well enough. But I figured if I'm gonna be doing anything kind of nice, then maybe I ought to get like what's the word? A real one, yeah. So kind of picked that up and been working on getting that configured. I thought, you know, oh well, they have mod packs and stuff. I'll just drop that in and it'll all work just great. And no, not at all. Quite obnoxious getting it up and going, so that was a thing. Let's see, other updates. Yikes! Wait. Yeah, nailed it. Oh, that passed. That didn't work. So anyway, kind of finding out what sort of things we want to play. So let me know if you guys have any thoughts as well, if any preferences. Otherwise, like I said, tonight's just gonna kind of be chill. I've spent most of the night working already and don't need you know, don't need more disturbance. I might get a phone call here and I'll have to pause for a minute to answer that, so I apologize if that happens, but try and keep it short. And otherwise just gonna kind of pull in, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes, kind of aiming for the end of the hour, and you know, just mainly wanted to check in, say hi, and you know, kind of let people know what I'm looking for right now and where I'm kind of trying to go. So yes, mod packs on home computers are really kind of weird. I'm actually, you know, semi-good with computers, so getting it, you know, it was more working with the hosting company's interface and figuring out how all that worked. Yes, this is me excelling at altitude while I talk. It was kind of partly just me figuring out how the hosting company worked and what they wanted and that sort of thing. So once I stopped, frankly, to be perfectly honest, once I stopped trying to use their tools and things and just logged on via FTP and set up the files the way I wanted, that's when I made progress and things actually went well, and so, and how it actually got up and running. So at any rate, just figuring stuff out, but I don't know, it was kind of interesting. I don't know about this whole tree thing. You guys are gonna... I'm worried that is it like, isn't that boring? Like, it seems like I need land or something to kind of, you know, build off of. Maybe it's just, you know, a different approach to things. But how do you get dirt? I'm not understanding. So I guess I'll try and work that out and figure that out, and y'all can laugh at my confusion and consternation. But so anyway, yeah, kind of looking at games, and then I'm also still kind of digging through some of the music that Twitch says is available for me to kind of use, and seeing what I like and what I don't. I found a couple people today that I definitely do not like, so you know, I mean, not ideal, but it is what it is. You can't love them all, and pop it. Ah, yeah, that didn't work. The pack is from AT Launcher. I believe it's called Sky Factory 2. It's put on by Kevin Bacon or Captain Bacon or King Bacon, something Bacon, and Waffle Co. I don't know. A couple YouTubers that I recognize their skins from Headcrumbs, but I've never actually watched them myself. No, god damn it. So don't know the names off the top of my head. Sorry. I'm a terrible person. Horrible human. But, yeah, maybe it'll be fun, maybe it won't. But I hope so. You know. As a general rule going through life, I tend to, you know, if my two options are fun, not fun, I do try and kind of aim towards the fun side of things. It just seems like the thing to do. At any rate, so I don't know if you, who has and hasn't heard, but My Night's supposed to pick back up on the 20th, so assuming Declan doesn't completely and utterly toast the server, then that should be kind of what's going on. Last I heard, he was still working and seeing if he could get the mods updated, so he's trying to kind of take the time and do the update again. Whether that works or not, I don't know. I don't think he knows. I don't think anybody knows. But, I do know that last night I spent probably 2 or 3 hours. I don't kind of want to get into what it was because it was a mistake, frankly. But I found a problem with the main playing area that would have been causing a lot of slowness and lag and issues. So I think that might have been part of what was going on that the streamers have been seeing, so I spent a few hours cleaning that up and kind of getting rid of it. So it definitely felt smoother to me. I don't know whether that could have just been that I was in the area completely, and I'm not saying that it was the only problem, but it certainly wasn't helping. So I know, at the very least, assuming, again, the server isn't gone and completely dead, that improvements should have been made. How much, to be determined. I think Jordan is going to die a lot. But I also commented on that earlier on my Tumblr. I don't know if people watch that or not, but, you know, one of the things I've noticed is, you know, a lot of people, and it's funny, and I get it, but a lot of people kind of laugh and do the, you know, Jordan you fool thing, and he goes along with it, and that's cool. This is a little on the excessive side. There we go. Turn that down just a little bit. But I do want to say, like, yeah, he definitely gets himself into these situations and kills himself and all that, but part of that is just that I feel like he's more willing to kind of explore and experiment, and, you know, I can't fault him for that. Like, I think it's groovy that he's willing to be like, oh, we'll put it together and see what happens, and kind of just... He tries stuff out, and not all of it works, but at least he's trying stuff out, you know? So, yeah, he'll definitely kill himself lots and cause all sorts of shenanigans and whatnot that we'll have to go through behind and pick up and clean up, but, you know, that's what makes it fun. So, if everyone just stayed completely alive and nothing ever happened, then nothing would happen and people would stay alive, which is boring. So, that's kind of the deal there. Alright, shuffling between windows. One slight issue with playing Altitude, and it's very slight, but just that it's a you know, full screen on the monitor, so anytime I need to adjust something, I get the full-on you know, black screen for you guys, so sorry about that. What altitude server am I on? I play on Dojo because it's about the only server that's out there. I mean, there's a lot of servers out there, I take that back, but it seems to be where everyone congregates. So Ball Dojo is kind of my stomping grounds. It's currently full. When I would have been actually streaming earlier, but I couldn't get into it. I was just sitting in the queue, and I kind of was thinking, you know, of the things that I would want to do with my night if I were you guys. Watching someone sit in a queue and putz around on a server that had like 2 or 3 players waiting for it wouldn't have been that interesting. So that's why I was already in game when kind of fired the stream up. Just had been waiting for that to clear through. But obviously, if we're here, we got it, we're doing it, and I'm dying a lot, which, you know, par for the course. Today we seem to be favoring, at the moment, the biplane. As you guys can see, 19 kills, 23 deaths. It's obviously serving me well. Biplane's not at all my expertise, but I do appreciate it at times because it just hits like a freight train with the cannon. So it's kind of fun to, you know, I like to mix it up a little bit. I'm definitely, of my, of the planes that I, hello, flying forward to help. Of the planes that I play and that are options, it's definitely the loopy that I'm the best at, in my opinion, and given the stats and that sort of thing. But, you know, don't want to just stick to one thing too much. So yes, I realized I can make it not full screen, but then I was playing, I'm like, it should be full screen, it's just, I need the feel, I need the whole thing, so, you know, ooh, a ball, yay! Stop shooting me, please. That was a pass, that was completely intentional pass. Yeah, see, that was all me and my awesome pass by evasion into the wall. So far I see Technofin, Purpleman, How to Be Grace, Altieri, how's it going, people? And, yeah, I guess reading a name. I guess E3 is kind of winding down. A lot of the Twitters show that people are at their, you know, final parties and shenanigans, and then, you know, starting to head about their way. I believe that Tom is supposed to be going back to the UK soon for his family stuff, which kind of sucks for him, and feel bad and send the feels and all that, but hopefully he can get feeling better and, you know, and kind of move on through. Once things pick back up, the idea and goal for, you know, that other series is to kind of move it pretty fast and hopefully be, you know, kind of finish up. It's been, the season's gone a little long, and there's a lot of reasons for that, many of which were out of control, but as it is, I think that there, you know, people outside of this break are kind of ready to have a little bit of a pause, and then I don't know what the future holds there, so, but that's where things are heading that way. And I'm G. Hello, G, if that is your real name, and I'm not convinced it is, I'm gonna be honest. I have my doubts. I feel suspicious. I feel like you might be misrepresenting yourself slightly, but that's okay. Alright, so I am really not doing too well here. We're gonna switch. We gotta change it up. This just isn't working. Plus, this map is a little on the something crowded side, so a little more maneuverability, a little bit faster speed. You can't go wrong with that. So, whoop. Nope. Hey, he's gonna shoot me right now. I'm gonna die. It's gonna be sad. Yes, I did watch Trinity Island, actually. I quite enjoyed it. And one of the things about Trinity Island that I liked was it was kind of interesting to see Tom out of character, or as himself, as it were. You kind of, you know, a lot of people tend to think of him as the syndicate that, you know, SynHD that they see. You know, they think of him as that just being him, but it's... I found, you know, through watching Trinity Island that he was definitely much more... I don't know what the right word is, but he wasn't nearly as antagonistic as he can kind of be in My Night, and you know, just a little more friendly and a little bit more personable. And I don't think that necessarily, you know, his My Night persona is bad by any means, but it was just interesting to kind of realize, you know, this guy who he plays in Maya Knight is, and he's kind of specifically talked about it, but that he tries to play that bad guy role and, you know, kind of cause those shenanigans and create a little bit of that conflict to give it interest and flavor. So I found Trinity Island kind of interesting to watch from that perspective. And yeah, Trinity Island just kind of helped my opinion of all of them, except for maybe Tucker, because, well, I didn't get to see him very much. Episode 3. But no, it was, I quite enjoyed it. I found it to be kind of refreshing and an excellent idea. There's to kind of separate out and stay together, keep all the gang together, but yet you know, not have it be just more of the same. So I thought it was a well done little mini series. Not necessarily mid-sized series. Adorkable. That word, man. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about adorkable, to be honest. Hey, walls are cheating. Items are cheating. I'm still 5 and 12 at the bottom of the list. This is me kicking ass and taking name. Good God, I can't even not hit a wall. But that's okay. I'm, you know, I prefer to do good. But when I don't, it's pretty much just a complete and utter lack of surprise. I kind of accept that. So, but don't worry, I'll have my moments. You wait, I'm hustling them right now. I mean, granted, most of these people already know me because I've been playing on the server for ages. But you know, we're fooling them. We're making them think that we don't have what it takes, and yet we do. See, lined it up, sat it, sold it. Not sure what the sitting was, but. Zing, please. And Alteri's laughing uproariously. Excellent. You know, not saying necessarily anything specific, but that does remind me one of the things I keep meaning to do is to get the Moo bot or Nightbot or something set up and configured. I've seen some kind of, you know, explanations of how that works and what to do and whatnot. So just more maintenance to take care of on the, you know, getting everything set up and going right for people. Whoop. No, elusive one. Season 1 Maya Knight, what god would I have followed? I would say probably, I mean, almost all of us came from, frankly, kind of the Jordan background. We were all Jordan fans originally, and I mean, you know, I like all of the streamers, and don't necessarily get, or not even don't necessarily, but definitely don't get into the fanboyism, you know, Jordan versus Tom or any of that nonsense. But I would say I definitely tend to be a very much fairness-minded sort of person. I can't even in a game, like, I can't roleplay a villain. I can't be the bad guy when people play the, you know, like, Dishonor, and you're like, well, you could be evil and just kill everyone. And I'm like, nah, but I'm not evil, man. That's not who I want to be in life. That's not what I want to do. You know, I want to grow up and be a good guy. So, I definitely probably would have either stuck with Ionite or Maya Knight. I don't have it in me to be a nefarious person, per se. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, I have my moments where I'm kind of a dick, but we all do, so there's no perfection or illusions therein, but I don't like, I certainly don't like hurting anything or, you know, making anyone feel bad, or, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, the Chaos or Dionite specifically, that was his goal, but I just, you know, I like everyone to have fun, I like them to be involved, and I like them to be alive and stuff, so, you know, when I'm not shooting him uproariously in the game. Good God, that was a good run. So this Wicked Zell guy, I was playing against him in, like, you know, there were while we were waiting to get into this server, on the mostly empty one, there were 4 people, and holy crap, the dude just smokes me. So yeah, not gonna, he can do his thing. Oh, look, I'm almost 1-to-2 kill death ratio. Nailed it. I guess I could try and whale for a minute. We could go whale. Go a little bit slow and fat. Go fatty style. Drop my poop. Boop. Shoot my rockets and, you know. Whoa! Apparently completely failed to kill that guy. But hey, I did not die. That's one of the things that was different there. So, yeah. Jordan fans. We're fans of everybody, frankly. There's not any... I mean, you know, we have our moments of where we get on some of the streamers' nerves or they get on our nerves. Like, that's just, you know, I mean, you're spending, frankly, a lot of time together all working on this stuff. So, you know, we have our moments, but generally speaking, it's... we're definitely all pretty evenly distributed in terms of who we like and who we don't. No! Denied. Yeah, I'm just saying that we all kind of originated from Jordan, so there's a little bit of a history there, but I definitely haven't seen anything to where it's like, you know, genuine on the back end. Someone's like, well, I'm going to help Jordan get ahead of Tom, or I'm going to make sure that Tom... Like, it's none of that. Really, it's in terms of when they talk about whether or not, you know, oh, Jordan always gets these things, or Tom is always given this or that. You know, I mean, just the item given and stuff like that. Like, frankly, it's one of those things where if they engage with us, if they're interested with stuff, and they actually want the help, then they're probably going to get some help. We all of us just love to lend a hand and to be, I mean, not necessarily just involved, like to inject ourselves, because I'm happy to do it off camera, but we love helping the guys and kind of, you know, moving them forward, whether it's giving Sonya Thaumcraft stuff or whatever. But a big part of that is that, you know, not all of them want it. Like, Tucker will get mad at you if you give him stuff that he doesn't want. And it's hard because half the time... That's my shot. Half the time he does... You never know whether he does or not. And that's the fun, and that's the fun in the air quotes, you know, not actually fun, but that's one of the interesting dynamics in working with Tucker. Is it's like it is so mood based on what he wants and how much help he wants that you're just kind of like, I'm gonna help him. If he yells and calls me names, so be it, but I either need to follow behind him as he makes his water flows and fix them, because they're a major lag-inducing thing, and he sprays water everywhere, like when he was building his channel. You know, I had to kind of follow behind and even out those water flows, and he was like, who's helping me? Stop it, I want to do it myself. And I'm like, cool, you can do it yourself, you can carve it, you can do this, but as soon as you're done, I'm going to, you know, make sure the server stays alive, so sorry, brah. At any rate, you know, the point of the whole story and where I'm going with this is just that we will help whomever wants help, and if they need something, then there's, like, you know, any 4 people all anxious and eager to lend a hand. So if you feel like your favorite streamer isn't getting, you know, any support from whether you know, the gods or the behind the scenes in any way, has a lot more to do with whether or not they actually want the help than whether we're willing to provide it or have a favorite. So that's kind of the deal there, how that all breaks down. And yeah, I mean, some of them, like, you know, with Tucker, is they don't necessarily like asking, but they appreciate the help once you give it. So again, that's just like, you kind of just try and figure it out. And what are you doing, Mudo? Leave me alone. Haha, I win. You just kind of, you know, you lend a hand when you can, and either he's appreciative or he's not, and it's just, you know, we don't just try and give things away, but it's like, you know, my very first thing that I did on the server, and apparently I'm feeling, you know, under normal circumstances I prefer to kind of leave Mionite stuff to Mionite, but I'm feeling chatty and I've been missing it since it's not on, so we can talk a little about it. But, you know, the very first thing I did, I don't know if it's day 1, but I guess day 1 of logging into the server and actually, you know, besides just kind of flying over everything and going like, wow, there's the Fortress of Fury. Like, I watched Jordan build that yesterday, you know, slight fanboy moment. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Is that I actually gave Tucker his applied energistic system. I spawned that in and left it there, and under the, you know, we marked it as being from Ionite to kind of give it a, you know, story reason for showing up. But it was one of those things where he just, you know, he had resisted against it for so long, and so much of his stream was getting occupied with him just staring into chests or looking for things and stuff that, you know, it really, I think everyone, including him, kind of started to realize like this is impacting a little bit of the enjoyability of the streams and whatnot. So rather than, while there is certainly a aspect of, look, Jordan took the time to grow his and to grow his crystals and mine his stuff and build that, and so it's, you know, the it's not fair argument applies there. The reality is it's not that interesting for people who have already seen it and who have already done it, and it doesn't really put Tucker or Tom or whomever, you know, you give them an inventory management system. It's not like you're advancing them way far, you know. The swords and custom weapons, I can see a little bit more of where people are coming from. You know, I still don't agree entirely on everything, but it's just, anyway, so Tucker had actually said that night, like, he had been kind of resistant to an applied energistic system, and finally said, you know, maybe I should get one of these, and that was when I went and was like, finally, and, you know, spawned it in for him. So, at any rate, after doing that, he got it, and he was happy, and he, you know, actually was like, well, praise Ionite, you know, and kind of just went with it in the story mode, and that was cool, and everything. And then it's like the next thing I did to try and help him, like, hey, you know, see, he appreciates it, and that's cool, so, you know, I'll lend him a hand on this thing. And he was like, you know, he kind of got a little, you know, his typical Tucker salt, and got upset that people were giving him a hand, and so it was just like, okay, so this guy he's complicated. So, kind of figuring that out, I'm just saying, you never know where he's going to go with that. Wag needs more love. He doesn't like getting stuff, so I can't, that's the reality of it, is I don't want to give him stuff because he doesn't want it. I actually tweeted him just today and was like, hey, do you want me to work on, you know, restoring some of the Britannia stuff you lost? And he was like, nope, I'll do it. And so, yeah, I mean, the things I've done for Wag have been stealth. Like, it's almost he doesn't know, and it's just easier stuff. Like his Ars Magica altar and spell creation, that multi-block structure, I think that was the second thing I did, and was upgraded that to a quartz and gave it some, you know, just the materials that were used to make it, you know, improved that so he could do more with his spells, because he was starting to get to the point where his spells weren't creating right and they were exploding on him. And, you know, he had actually taken a couple days off, and so he came back and was like, did I upgrade this? I must have. Huh, alright, and, you know, was happy about it. And I think that worked out great, because it kind of, you know, helped him out a little, felt like we were, you know, being more fair on letting everyone kind of get a hand on stuff. And he didn't even realize that, you know, gave him a little boost. So, it was, but yeah, Wag kind of just, he wants to figure it out. He enjoys, and part of that is, you know, it's what they enjoy. You know, if they enjoy figuring out the mods, if they enjoy kind of building it themselves, then you're taking away that opportunity by putting it in there for them. So it really is kind of this, like, you never fully know where or whether you're doing the right thing in giving someone a hand. But that said, with Jordan, you do, and that's kind of cool. And Tom's like, he asks for killing stuff that is a little bit more imbalancing, but at the same time, like, when you do gotta get him interested in the utility stuff, like when we, you know, set him up with an ME system and kind of help him out there, like, he definitely got into it and enjoyed it. So, but I just, frankly, when I was joining, kind of getting established, was when Tom's family issues and things were really kind of heating up. So I've actually had very, very little interaction with him personally. I know that he knows and has been told of, like, characters, but, like, Observation Bot pretty much happened 100% while, let me save that goal, happened 100% while Tom was away, and just, you know, various little things. So I don't have as much to say there and haven't helped him out as much, but that's just because he hasn't been around, so I don't know what to do. Most of my interaction with Tom has been him, me forgetting again to vanish properly and going into his area and him going, can I help you? And I'm like, shit, you can see me, run, abort! Flying away really fast. That's my legacy there. Alright, so I've been monologuing for a while, sorry I'm ignoring chat. It's not actually intentionally ignoring as much as just hard to kind of play and talk and read and all that and figuring that out, so it's just me being a noob. But here on my next death I'll kind of read through and catch up a little bit. No, don't kill me! No, Pudgy, don't smoke! Whoop. He died. Yay! Alright. What is my favorite game? I like old games like Final Fantasy II, Dragon Warrior, like old Nintendo, Super Nintendo type stuff. And I think it's just a childhood thing and kind of what you remember, nostalgia and that sort of thing, but they'll always kind of have their place in my heart as some of the top stuff. As far as computers, even though it's the ones that I enjoy are still, they're obviously newer than Nintendo, but there was a game called Wing Commander Privateer, obviously from the Wing Commander series, but it was kind of like a open sandbox world before people knew what open sandbox was or meant, and really kind of originated. It was a space flight sim that let you choose whether or not you wanted to be, to pursue the story or to just kind of do your own thing. You could work as a trader, you could work as a mercenary, and it was pretty groundbreaking at the time and just done really well. And it's been a long time since I've seen that kind of get played out. So, those are kind of the, favorite games historically speaking. What to play right now. As I've mentioned, I don't really have anything I'm like that into right now, and that's part of why I'm just kind of playing these. This silly little thing is I can just get into it pretty quick and easy, and it's always kind of there for me as a. I'll just play some Altitude. Kind of, I'll just do that. That'll be fine. So. Don't really have any right now. I'd have to kind of go look at what I've played recently. One of the recent things, honestly, is I replayed both Portal 2 and Half-Life 2 all the way through. So they're both just again still kind of classics in their own right, but it was fun to crack those open again and remind myself about Wheatley and all the different things. It was kind of, and I didn't play all the way through 100% on that one. That was actually interesting because I saw a Reddit post where someone was like, this part was awesome, and it was, close your ears if you don't want spoilers, but it was when Wheatley tries to kill you, and it's the, this is that moment, or this is that part, achievement, and chapter, and dialogue, and all of those things kind of coming together, and I had a save that was right there. So I saw the post and kind of was like, oh yeah, that part was great, and went and looked at my save and was like, and I have it right here. So I played through all the way there and was like, this game is wonderful and awesome and everything. I'd like to kind of, I only have, whether this sounds sad or not, but I only have, in the real life, one good friend that's plays computer games with me. I have a lot of various. Obviously acquaintances and other friends that aren't computer gamers, but I only have one that really plays stuff, and it would be great to kind of get a little bit bigger circle there, because I love when we get on Skype and get talking and play Prop Hunt, Gary's Mod Prop Hunt, or The Hidden. Some of those those are all great stuff and a lot of fun, but I just don't have a big enough friend circle at the moment, computer-wise. I don't have any friends, but no, I mean more specifically, the computer playing friends that I can join and really have a populated world. And Prop Hunt, we still laugh and have a good time with just the two of us, but it'd be better with more than two of us too. So that's kind of there. Yeah, this is the part where he kills you and you get the achievement and you get a, and GLaDOS says everything, and it's just, it's funny. And then, I had to go through and do the, do the thing where he's like, hey, could you come back? And he's like, oh, great, I didn't for you to come back. Don't know what I could do. Maybe could you throw yourself off the cliff? And then you do, and he's like, what? I can't believe that worked. And you know, just that little personality perfect things that touches that it had. I have no idea what's going on in this game, to be perfectly honest. I've been talking and paying very little attention. Apparently we're winning 1-5, and I'm 14 and 16, and that's okay with me, because again, I've been paying very little attention and mostly just playing out of muscle memory. So, be my friend. Yes, you are all my friends. Oh, hey puppy. My girl's checking in, saying hi. She's been a little punk going potty where she isn't supposed to be, but come here, girl. Come here. You want to say hi to everyone? You say hi? This is my puppy Chloe. She's my baby. There's puppy Cam. She's a nervous, tiny little thing. She's a Pomeranian. She's I think 9 years old. I think she's 9 years old. So she's my girl. I had another one that was older, and unfortunately President's Day this year I had to let her go, but she was my bud. She was one of those yikes. And she was, you know, just you know how every now and then you have that pet that you just have that kind of extra connection to, and that was my girl there. So her name was actually Baby, so it got really confusing when she was my baby. No, literally she was my baby, but that was my pup, and she was also a Pomeranian. She was black and just kind of a sweetheart. So I don't know if if this will actually focus or not. So we'll hope, and the stream delay will take an hour for me to kind of see whether or not it's working. But I guess I'll just assume either that worked or it didn't. But she's the background of my phone, and yeah, it doesn't look terrible. But that's my girl. And I miss her lots, but that's kind of how life goes sometimes. She got to be... Whoa, kick the high ping. Way to go, my streaming's killing me. Great. And now the server's full, so that might be the end of that. Apparently another server's fired up, so let's get an auto join back to Dojo going. Oh, or I could just manage to get in when someone else left. Perfect. So, at any rate, she was 14, and you know, I'm very much this is kind of a soapbox thing, but it's very important to me that if you are going to take on a pet, that you understand that you are their world and their life, and everything about what you do affects them in a way that they can't control, so you need to treat it with respect and understand, like, you are their world and all that. And part of that is just understanding that there comes a point where it's time to kind of let go and to give them the most humane exit that you possibly can, and apparently my ping is just fucked, so boo there. I don't know what's happening. But, you know, I've had some friends and you know, kind of been around some people that they didn't want to let their dog go, and kept it around, and you know, took kind of, you know, extreme measures to try and keep it alive, and it wasn't a good life for their pet. It wasn't, you know, their pet wasn't happy, and they dragged it out to the point where it was truly like not a good thing, and the animal was suffering and just in pain and couldn't move, but they waited until the absolute last second before kind of taking him in and you know, doing what I consider to be the humane thing. So, you know, as much as I loved her, as much as she was like huge to me and just, you know, had been my bud for ages, you know, I talked to the vet, and we did everything I possibly could that were measures that were reasonable and didn't impact her quality of life. But when it got to a point where it was very clear that, you know, her body is done, there might be, you know, drugs we can give her, or you know, things we can do to prolong it, kind of, she wouldn't be happy through it. So That's not stuff I'm willing to do. It's part of the commitment to an animal is letting them, you know, knowing when to let go and not keeping them around for your sake at their expense. So anyway, sorry, it's a soapbox thing, but I feel pet ownership is something I feel pretty passionate about because I've always had dogs. I've always loved dogs. You know, cats can fuck off. I like kittens, but they grow up into cats, and that's not cool. But you know, I've always been a dog person, and so it's just kind of one of those things that matter to me. So, at any rate, soapbox over. Hello. Here, you take that. You go, brah. It's all you. Alright, Purpleman, you go do your thing. If there had to be another girl YouTuber on my night, who would I choose? I don't actually know that many girl YouTubers, so it's hard to answer. I mean, I actually, you know, I know of Aurelian. I've watched Jordan videos with her in it. I've tried watching her a little bit and didn't really kind of get into it. Not to say that's anything against her, just, you know, I mean, different folks for different strokes sort of thing. But I don't, there's Cupquake or something. Oh my, you know, I has Cupquake, I think. I've seen her and she seemed kind of interesting. I saw her on some panels, or I don't even specifically remember, but I don't know. I don't have enough experience or know enough of them to be able to say this person would be a good fit or not. So that's the best answer I can give is with a head shrug. Let's see. Sorry, I don't mean to make you tear up. I really loved my puppy, and I was very sad to let her go. But it's important to me that I do it right too. So just one of those things. Yeah, if you gotta kind of be willing to, you know. I think that you got to just be kind of at where Jordan's at, and that you know, in terms of PG-ness or not, where you can try and keep your stream clean and you can work on it, but you have to be willing to accept that there are others that aren't trying that, and that's okay, and you're not going to be mad. You're not, you know, it's just, it is, you do what you can do, and, you know, they'll do what they do, and that's just kind of it. You know, I have no problem with people who don't want to swear or don't, you know, choose to do that, but that doesn't mean that, you know, I feel like they should, because they feel that way, that no one else can in their presence. It's like that, I get to use the words that I choose to use because that's part of, you know, the benefits of being me. And so, at any rate, yeah, if they're at all militant or hardcore about that, and I don't know, then that wouldn't be a good fit. The only thing I can think of with Aurelian is I was watching her when I tried to watch it was the UHC, which Jordan took part in for like a half a season because he had no idea what he was doing and got himself, like, took for ages to properly get himself geared out, and so I think he ended up dying to a skeleton, but I'm pretty sure Seth Bling was on his tail about to kill him when he did it. But at any rate, I did watch the Ari perspective of that for a few minutes, and I just remember her seeing a spider and saying specifically, "Gonna take the F that train to Nobeville," and I don't know why, but that statement just seemed kind of silly to me and stood out. Oh, got the ball. I was like, I will read chat. No, I will pick up the ball. These are my choices in life. Stop shooting me. Oh, hello. Haha. Derp. That was me nailing it. Yeah, it was a pass. It was a pass. So, at any rate, yeah, you definitely have to be open, and you don't necessarily have to swear or do all that yourself. But I think Jordan's got a good mix. You know, he's kind of a little bit of a shit, hell, and damn sort of guy, but tends to lay off the heavier stuff when he's on stream. You can tell kind of just watching him that, you know, there's been moments where you're like, yeah, your vocabulary is bigger than what you let on. You know, and I've actually, you know, I remember asking someone what the fuck they were doing in a prop hunt and kind of doing the stop, pause, rewind. Did he just? He did. Okay. But, yeah. I appreciate that he wants to kind of keep his channel for a certain audience, and I think that that's a good thing. Recognizing who watches him and saying, you know, I want to put on my best face that way. No, I'm gonna die. This is where I die. This is how I die right here. This part. Don't pick up balls. You said balls, and that's funny. Yeah. See, the ball is a sport tool, not necessarily a metaphor or euphemism for some other anatomical part. In this context, it can be, actually. You'd be surprised. I'm sorry about that, Ashley Marie. I don't know Ashley Marie. I haven't actually seen anything of hers, so... Yeah. So that's kind of what's going on there. I don't know, what time is it? I'm not wearing my watch, and I don't know why. Here it is right here. I've actually gone over a little bit, but I'm still feeling okay, so we can go a few more minutes. I'm not sure if people are still feeling it or not, but I definitely have an itchy nose and can go for another minute. It's not been my best day, I'll admit. You know, if you were looking for the championships of Altitude, you may be a little bit disappointed. And for that, I would apologize, except I don't really care about winning that much, so it is what it is. Sorry. If you're really wanting to watch someone, you know, speed run or you know, do incredible things, then a ranked player of some sort would be your better option. Because you know, I understand that casual gamer has a negative connotation. It doesn't mean that I'm sitting here playing Peggle all day long or Candy Crush, but I am a relaxed gamer. I just, you know, I don't need to kind of... Besides, I do good things on occasion, see? You know, it's like I've played this before when I'm concentrating or even trying. But yeah, I'm not hyper-competitive at all. I'd like to win. I'd give it again. It's kind of one of those, you know, given a choice between winning and not winning, I'll take winning. I'm not just going to be like, but if I don't win, it's okay. It's just a game. And you know what? I don't remember whether I won or lost the last round, and I won't remember whether I won or lost this round. So who cares? You know? That's really kind of my take on the situation. Why do not want balls. So these balls are spiky. We're trying to get it in the goal. Yeah. Grow up! I'm the same way. I laugh at this little stuff. I can act indignant, but I never, ever am. Really just kind of, you know, a little child stuck in, I don't know if I'd call it grown-up body, but somewhat of an adult. So, yeah. Ugh. Haha, he shoots like me! Which is to say poorly. I don't know what... Oh, I was like, I don't know what they're going for there, but that's not good, but those are bots, and bots are terrible. And anytime you pass in front of a bot, it will pass, whether it should or not. So that's what's going on there. Die, Pope! Die! I can't target him from this distance. He's on the breakaway! He's going all the way! So... crap. Looks like the only... Hey, at least I kept it from being a shutout with my one goal, eh? Right. All these are team-based destruction, which is... I don't like TBD as much, and I kind of explained this before, but it's just... I feel like the respawn timer is like... Oh, cool, we switched to another ball bat. Perfect. The team-based destruction, I think, is on a 7-second respawn, where this one's like 4 or 5, and it's just... For whatever reason, it's a perception thing, but it's that momentary too long. You're just like, Jesus, can we go already? Well, that was a freebie. Oh, I will kill you, and then I'll... Oh, missed. That's okay. When there's not this many people on, I don't need to score immediately. Just play the game and have fun. At any rate, it's just a perception thing, but it's just long enough to make it aggravating. Don't shoot me. Haha, you got a dot on you. And then I run all that and I run into a wall. Did I answer what question? What's the question? Repeat it. Eventually, you know, once Streamlabs catches up and you see this, and then you re-ask the question, then I catch up and I see it. But at any rate, what was the question? What about Tumblr? What do you got? Lay it on me. I'm ready. I'm primed and anxious. I'm eager, even. Not that eager, because it could be, you know, awkward. But right now, primed, anxious, ready to go. Nothing. Fine. Fine. No. It's too late. Not answering a thing now. I will answer nothing. Oh, do I get annoyed when people ask? No, actually, the reason my Tumblr's there is so people can ask me stuff. Like, that's the point. You know, it's actually mildly disappointing if I log on and don't have any answer questions or you know, whatever, because it's like, you know, when people are asking me stuff, then it shows interest, and it shows that they're either liking what I'm doing or interested in just my night itself, and both of those things are, you know, in my opinion, from my perspective, good things. So, no, I absolutely don't get annoyed at people asking me stuff. There's times where, you know, I mean, you end up answering the same question a lot, and that's just inherently the nature of it. It's kind of like a radio station that, you know, they can play a song, and the popular song, and 5 minutes later they'll get a request for it, and they're like, geez, people, I just played it. But the reality is whomever is asking for it wasn't there a minute ago and didn't know that it was already played, and all this background details. So that's just, you know, it's the nature of the beast. You just answer it, and then you put up an FAQ, and you say, hey everyone, I got an FAQ over here. And no one will go read it because no one reads FAQs, but you feel like you've done something proactive. Speaking of FAQs, though, I don't know if it's funny or not. It was to me. You guys can make your own decisions. You know, make up your own life. But so I have had a sleep disorder that since my teenage years, as long as I can remember. And it's pretty easily treated. I just take a half of a sleeping pill before I go to bed each night, and it makes sure that I actually fall asleep properly. Otherwise, what ends up happening is, what ends up happening is my body I'll fall asleep, but my body won't go into a restful state. You know, there's different types of sleep. I won't actually be in a restful state of sleep until typically about 6 or 7 a.m., and then I'll fall into a deep sleep, which really sucks if you're getting up around that time, because it makes it so that A, I'm not rested, and B, it's really hard and painful and all those things to actually fully wake up. So, at any rate, that's just kind of a thing that I've dealt with, and so I take a sleeping pill every night. Last night, I took my pills, was going to bed, and usually I'll spend about 20 minutes waiting for it to kind of kick in before puttering around before heading off to bed. And apparently I waited a little too long, just like this story, going a little too long. But I hung out, and it was starting to take effect, and I thought to myself, without really realizing that I was, you know, kind of going into dirt mode, that I decided now's the time when I will edit my Tumblr page and change my theme and add this FAQ and stuff. And so on my FAQ page, where this has all been building to, is you can actually see as my faculties go away. Yeah, it's like my first paragraph in that thing is, you know, just reads like a normal, you know, me typing, you could comprehensible per se thing, and then, but by the time you reach it's only like 4 paragraphs long, but by the end of the 4th paragraph, it's just the words don't really make sense, and they start jumbling and stuff. So again, to me, it was kind of funny just to kind of look back on that and go, I kind of remember that I did this, and obviously I wasn't fully with it, because I'm typically pretty precise in my typing and you know, my vocabulary. So to have this thing that's there, then I'm just like, I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, it amused me. Do I have any specific questions I don't want to be asked? No, not really. Like, I mean, if I don't want to answer it, then there's plenty of silly little things. I mean, you know, I try and answer anything that kind of makes sense, but there's plenty of things that it's just a nonsensical question or a basic question, and if that's the case, then I might just answer it privately, or else just ignore it, and I feel like that's my prerogative as a person to decide what I want to see and what I don't, or what I want to respond to and what I don't, but I don't mind being asked. Like, there's nothing I haven't been doing this long enough or whatever to have developed a sensitivity to any of these things and be, you know, not Tucker with episode 3 going, guys, I get it, it's not funny anymore. Like, I just don't have that history, frankly, to kind of those things. It's like, don't ask me that anymore, I don't ever want to answer it. So, give me time and I'll become jaded and cynical and bitter and, you know, maybe at that point the feelings will change, but as of right now, it's not there yet. So, no, it's not sleep terrors. It's called, what is it? Delayed phase sleep disorder or something like that. DPSD. But yeah, it's you can read about it on Wikipedia if you're bored. But it just basically means that I can fall asleep, but I don't get rest until later in the day. Oh, Sparkanite, Captain Sparkanite, you don't bug me too much. Like, again, if I'm not feeling it, then I just won't answer, you know? Like, or I won't even get on Tumblr, you know? It's just, I can self-moderate and self-control to the point where you don't need to worry too much about what's going on that way, you know what I mean? So, don't worry about it. There are, that said, all that said, you know, I mean, there's one or two people that it's like, you know, a moment of, oh, this guy again, kind of thing. Me and my goal against those 3 people. But, you know, it's like, oh, thank you again for this wonderful, lovely suggestion that you had of something that'd be funny but isn't practical for whatever reason, whatever. You know, that's just, again, we can't all be winners, and I'm not even saying I'm one. Maybe that's me talking to Chim or you know, with my ideas and that sort of thing. It's not I always have good ideas, so, you know, disclaimer there. But, any rate, don't worry about bugging. It's cool. I'm actually very familiar with Tumblr. I've had another blog, non-gaming related, that I've dealt with, and so I kind of know the ins and outs and stuff. And there's certain things that I don't think that it does very well. It doesn't handle a conversation well, the back and forth, where you get the bigger and bigger threads and you're reblogging constantly. Like, it's not great at that, but neither is Twitter or really any of the other options, so I don't, you know, it's not like it's a major issue, but I do believe that gentleman's got a score right there. But, yeah, I don't have any problems with Tumblr. I know how to work it and know what it does, and so it's all good there. That guy tried to dumb bomb me, and I had a shield, and he dumb bombed himself, and that's just dumb. Stop shooting me! Stop shooting me! Go away. Woohoo! Yeah, take that! He didn't get it, because he hadn't shot me long enough that I died, but... He was all like, I'll save it! And then he completely turfed the shot, so... No problems. Yeah. Hello, Ender's Wings. That is like a very difficult color of a name, so I'm like squinting. Turn down on the crashes. What does that even mean? Is that some sort of jive thing? Like, you know, I'm hip to the fly, turn down on the crash, or am I like, you know, when I crash, I actually need to, like, stop crashing? Oh, look at me, saving that like I'm not even knowing what I'm doing, because I don't. Nope. Clear! Sometimes you just gotta say, I'm gonna die right now, and I prefer the ball went somewhere else. Didn't work out too well for me anyway, though. BTTV. What is that? Do you want me to... Is the game volume too loud? Is that the deal? Is that what we're complaining about? What are we complaining about here? Yeah, favorite Mighty 90, if not chicken, least favorite. I do remember that question, and as I said, yes, that name is actually much easier to read. As I said then, and I still feel now, which is I don't really have a least favorite, you know? Kind of talked about earlier how they present some challenges at times and you know, can bring their own unique flavor of difficulties to overcome, but you know, it's certainly not a least favorite. Like, I'm glad all of them are there. It's not like, God, my night would be so much better if WAG wasn't here. Like, no, it's cool. I like what my night is, and I like the players that are involved, so, you know, it's all good, brah. Whether that's too chicken or not is kind of for you to decide, I don't know. But it's the answer regardless, so, and, you know, I'm not too afraid of being chicken or not, so it's not the motivation. Like, I'm just scared, what if they see it? Nah, they're not watching. We're all alone. That's actually, I mean, frankly, for Season 3, I would say that, you know, having some ability, I get wanting to have we'll keep the mystery, so we're not going to spoil any of the story to them, and you know, kind of doing the reality TV thing of they don't know where it's going, or whatever. Like, I get that, but I definitely think that there's better lines of communication and interaction to be had. Again, at the very least, I'm sure you're all familiar with that Twitch has a pretty significant stream delay, and and during events and stuff, that's, you know, we're watching their reactions. If they ever, you know, complain because we don't see what's going on, it's not the case at all. Like, you know, we might not necessarily have every streamer open, but we're very much watching to see what's working, what's not, and trying to react kind of to them and with them. And it's really hard to do that because you've got like a 15-second delay on everything you do, and so it makes it a little complicated. So one of the things I think that Season 3 would benefit from, if there is a Season 3, is just having a way to having the actual performers in the TeamSpeak. Like, I don't care, you know, I don't even care if it's a, you know, you mute us sort of thing, you know, so we can't talk, because again, you know, you want the focus on the streamers. It's not about us, and other than just a supporting what's going on and giving them kind of something to work off of. But you know, allowing us to just hear their reactions, hear their communication in a real-time format would be a tremendous help, I think, in letting us kind of react more dynamically and fluidly and organically, and all the other leads to add on to that. So I think that there's improvements that could be made there. Really, for Season 3, that's the one thing that I would like to see, is just, you know, access to at least listen live to TeamSpeak so that we can react better there. And then I would want to see, I'd still want modded, as you know, obviously I love the tech mods and the utility mods and those sort of things. I wouldn't ever want to get rid of that. Like, in my mind and opinion, once you work with applied energistics, like, you never want to play Minecraft without it. Like, having an ME system is just so much nicer, inventory wise and crafting wise. But I would definitely do fewer mods and fewer of the kind of the game-changing mods. I try and make it more to where, yeah, there's utility stuff and there's kind of convenient stuff, even decorative stuff. You know, like carpenter blocks, sure, why the hell not? You know, it doesn't hurt a dang thing. But kind of fewer of the major stuff that changes the balance and feel and flavor of what's going on. You guys try to kill me and I don't want it to. You know, and try and keep it more of a not vanilla, but just, you know, the core Minecraft feel and style to it more. So that would be, you know, were I Declan, that would be the direction I would head moving forward. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. Like, you know, we're all kind of making this up as we go, and that's one of the things that I think people don't realize is, at least for me and my experience and what I know of and have seen of other YouTube series, is it's like My Night's kind of a big experiment. Like, a lot of the storytelling and the things that go into it haven't really been done before, and that's a big part of why some stuff just hasn't worked. And it's certainly not lost on us that, you know, this or that isn't working. That, you know, you don't want to make a build in the nightmare dimension because while you're building it, you're in creative mode and you don't realize that there's nightmares are there, and then you don't realize that the server's going to bug and spawn them at 4 times the normal rate that it should be, so that when the streamers actually come in, they just get assaulted and slain out and killed and, you know, get frustrated, and you know, that's not what we're going for here. So part of it's just learning the lessons and kind of, you know, not growing up, but coming to understand what's involved and what it, you know, what it means, and honestly, just portraying the amount and depth of story that we have through the Minecraft medium, it's really, really hard to do. And you know, honestly, I would definitely say that we could do better in terms of having a little bit simpler story. Like I like having the depth, and I like having the you know, what's there, but you do need to kind of keep in mind like what you're working with and what you have to go off of. Well, that sucked. My wall didn't stop him. You know, we are stuck to this Minecraft medium and the things that we can do with the mods, and you know, making cool builds and stuff is great, but you know, you can't convey some of these bigger events or at least do it easily, and so a lot of the time goes into just working out how are we going to get the message across that we want. So anyway, point of that being that I think there are simplifications that should probably be made in terms of plot twists and depth and what you're trying to convey. You know, not going full Michael Bay on something because we just, you know, can't do explosions or whatever. But you know, you think of the death of Iodite, and you know, like that was done through very simple, you know, few mods, just gravel and the blocks that went into building her, and a very touching and poignant kind of scene was crafted and built. Shit. And you know, that touched a lot of people and was done through, you know, done really well. And to me, that's kind of what the aim for is, not necessarily, you know, make people cry every time, but to figure out what the story elements are and things that you can do in the paradigm with which we're existing and working in. So yeah, there was that. I can't even tell you what the original question was, but I hope I answered it. If there wasn't an original question, if I wanted to answer it. Yeah, that's how I roll. So, what kind of music do I like? I like all, I actually have stuff all across the map. Like, and certainly certain genres I enjoy more than others, but there's probably examples of almost every genre you can imagine that I have currently in my my iPod. It's actually kind of an ongoing joke with my employees from work that, you know, if you go to lunch with me, I'll take my iPod and put it on random, and you can, you know, get a taste of, wow, look at that shot. Nailed it. Nailed it. I have to yell everything, apparently. But yeah, I like all sorts of stuff. Probably I'd just say alternative rock is kind of my, you know, more likely to enjoy, but God, there's so much stuff. I love the piano guys, and there's just a guy with a piano and a guy with a cello, and they do great stuff, and it's really entertaining and fun to listen and hear them. So, you know, they're classically trained, so kind of hearing, you know, that I really like old, like early 90s rap type stuff. You know, I mean, and not so much like R&B hip hop, but more like the genuine rap, and that's just because it's what my older brother, when I was growing up, listened to it, and I looked up to him, so, you know, I kind of picked up a taste for that. But and probably I'd say the thing that I like the least, which is actually a little bit easier for me, is I have a hard time with jazz, and not to in any way knocking jazz by any means, because I recognize it's a beautiful medium and beautiful. It's just the way that my mind works is very structured and organized, and that is very, very incompatible with the kind of ADD type improv style that goes into jazz. So it's just it doesn't work with how I think very well. But again, that's not a knock to it. That's just kind of an opinion. So, I don't look down on it by any means. There's no, man, no, all jazz sucks or all this or that sucks. But yeah, I like some pop stuff. Frankly, pop can be kind of fun. There's a reason it's called pop. It means popular, and that's because people like it. And yeah, it's generic and or not necessarily generic, but formulaic and pre-constructed and, you know, created through industry. But there's a reason it works, and that's because they've kind of got a formula that people enjoy listening to. So, you know, it's like, to me, pop is very similar in a way to like eating at McDonald's, where, you know, if you're hipster enough or whatever, then you can kind of look down on it and, you know, raise your nose. But at the end of the day, they serve a lot of people, and a lot of people are happy with what they got, and so it is what it is. They can make a hamburger, and they can make it fast, and I don't mind it. So, okay. And I kind of see pop as similar to that in a way where it's just, you know, easily consumed. Sorry, Mad Cow, that was dumb of me. Easily consumed tidbits in bites. So, country, you know, I don't really like a ton of twang stuff, but I appreciate, like, you know, Johnny Cash has some good pieces to it, and you know, Garth Brooks, and I mean, certainly, especially like crossover stuff where they kind of take the you know, the country, some of the country pieces, and infuse it in with other styles. Lone Star, I like a lot of what they do. That would have sucked. So, sorry, Mad Cow, you can be mad at me. I almost took your health again while you were smoking, and I wasn't. But yeah, I like you know, crossover or country. It's a little bit more into the dueling shields there. It's a little bit more into the crossover stuff, like not the deep twang. Don't really like disco. That's not a style for me. But I don't know. I don't have an agenda or anything to prove. So it's kind of like what the hell happened there? Laggity lag. So it's like, you know, there's Britney Spears songs that I quite enjoy, and that's fine to me. Like, if you want to make fun of me for liking some Britney Spears, I'm fine. I don't care. Like, what does it matter to me? Or to you, for that matter. Like, who cares what people enjoy? If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. So, you know, there's stuff all over. And when I was in high school, I did, you know, Wayback Machine. I'm old, so, you know, going way far back. But when I was in high school, I did technical theater, and which is a fancy way of saying stage crew, and so consequently did a ton of theater work, and putting on the musical for theater was kind of the you know, the big highlight and hubbub of the year. That was the single biggest project. So I got to a point where I really like good musicals, and enjoy the theater aspect of it, enjoy kind of what they're doing. Not so much on the older classic stuff, like they're not talking like, you know, Oklahoma or anything like that, but Avenue Q is awesome. Like I have on my keep wanting to say iPad, but on my iPod, a lot of Avenue Q music, Jekyll and Hyde, Phantom of the Opera. Like, I love good musical stuff, and there's really cool sounds, and the things that go into it, the things that they manage to do on stage are all awesome to me. So, yeah, I don't even feel bad. Don't care. Jordan's music videos are awesome. It's frankly how I found Jordan, and I love his stuff. Let's see, what is it? Take Back the Night is my favorite by far. Probably next would be, I think, what's the Usher one? Was it Revenge? Where Jordan actually raps for a minute in there. That'd probably be my second favorite, and then Pieces is up there, and you know, Minecraft style. Like, I quite enjoy them. Also, I found out today that just today, literally today, that Try Hard Ninja's name is Igor. I was reading a interview, and that caught me off guard a little bit. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting the name Igor, but that is Try Hard Ninja's name. So now you know, he's Igor. But at any rate, I like his music videos. I like what he does. I think that they're, you know, his lyrics are typically fairly clever. You know, they can get a little simplistic in some ways, but he's trying to do a Minecraft video. What do you want? So, but I enjoy his stuff, and particularly like the Take Back the Night is definitely a excuse me. is definitely a style of music that I really enjoy. Kind of that EDM, not as EDM as what's playing here. Like, this is a little too electronic for me. It's just what I have kind of going in the background. But kind of that mix of EDM pop with some drops and things. That's good stuff. So I've also kind of started getting into some like newer stuff like dubstep. Like I enjoy the Bangarang album of Skrillex's. I don't know what else. You lose. I don't know that many artists or I'm not that familiar with who plays there, and certainly there's stuff that's far too hard for me. But you know, some of that stuff I can get into, the beeps and the boops and the wub wubs. So no, my bomb was blocked by another plane, so I only got a partial bomb. If that's part of the strategy there is to block them. So yeah, if you want to be attracted to hot, adorable guys, you do what you do. You know, you do you. Be attracted to who you want. You're on my server. Well, I don't know who you are, so I don't see you, but maybe you're right there. Maybe you're Blue Star Ointment. You're shooting me, and maybe you're bot 1. I'm pretty sure you're not a bot, but good for you. Anyway, Babylon. I love music, though. I love making music. I love, I have a ton of it, and well, as I said, there's certainly some styles or whatnot that aren't for me. In general, music is the art that I connect to. You can sit me in front of a beautiful painting and I'll see a painting. Not visible painted, art has never spoken to me, and I kind of regret that. Like, I wish that it did. I wish that I felt what obviously other people were feeling, but while visual art hasn't really done that for me, music definitely does, and I definitely feel music and enjoy it and what it can do, and appreciate that you have something that can control emotions and make people feel the way you want them to feel and convey such meaningful things even without words. I think that's groovy stuff. So yeah, I like music and I babble a lot about it. Little pop, little dubstep, little rock. Yeah, those are all things I get into. And I love, like, my if you were asking me what just my straight up favorite band, it'd probably be Pink Floyd, so, but I'm not a huge Led Zeppelin fan. You never know. Like, I'm all over the place, and I respect that. And to me, it's just, if I like, it's not even like per artist. It's just if either I like a song or I don't, and I never liked any of Train's things, like the Drops of Jupiter and Hey Soul Sister. Like, I can't, they drive me nuts. His style of his singing voice, the way that they're presented. Nope. You see me literally jump like, go! Didn't do it. Something about the songs I did not like at all, or a lot of Nickelback's original hits. I can't even remember the names of them, but and that's not just. It has nothing to do with it being popular to not like Nickelback or anything like that. It's just I didn't like the songs. Like they didn't do it for me. But then they come out with other ones, and suddenly, Train does "Calling All Angels," and that is a fantastic song. Nickelback has "Photograph," and that's pretty good and fun. So, it just you never really know, and I don't have this person only does good things and this band only sucks. I haven't listened to Justin Bieber, but I'm sure he has songs that I'd probably be like, it's not that bad. So whatever it goes, or whatever they present, I just kind of evaluate it in the moment and how I feel. Aerosmith's "Jaded," I hated that song. Hated it. Something about it, like, just it was very jarring to me. The way that it did its transitions and intro and everything. Kept hearing it on the radio. Sooner or later, I quite enjoy the song now. So, I don't know. I just take it as it goes. Yeah, I'm sure my score was great. I genuinely haven't been looking or even particularly watching. So literally playing the game through muscle memory and just apparently kamikaze style. But yeah, Maroon 5, they have stuff that I really don't like, and they have stuff that I really do. Their current hit, and I couldn't even tell you the name. I just remember hearing it on Sirius. Was very generic and boring, and I didn't like it at all. But they have things that I have quite enjoyed as well. I'm trying to think of them right now. The phone booth one, that wasn't bad. So yeah, but Maroon 5, like, I think more of the Killers. Like, I don't know why I have an association there in my head, so I kind of tend to lean like more in that direction, and I like what they do. As for whatever reason, like, I think of them, I'm like, yeah, Maroon 5 is okay, but you know who's good is those Killer guys. I think they might be onto something. Again, couldn't tell you why. I don't know why I keep ramming these guys. You'd think that I'd learn to, shoot ahead of me, but not so much. But I feel like Maroon 5, like, they've kind of gone to where they're more focusing on, like, Adam Levine doing his acting things, and otherwise his everything but music kind of approach, and it's fine, I don't care. Auto join on that and see if I can't get my ping game going again, assuming I don't quit before too long. But at any rate, music, take it as it goes. Tis what it is. Woo! Oop. I bound your base. Na 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 na. Are you purple? Are you on purple? Who are you? Imagine Dragons, excellent. I quite enjoy them. Their Radioactive album, there was one song that I didn't like, and otherwise all of them I quite enjoyed. So yeah, Imagine Dragons, they're on the not the naughty list, but the good list. Radioactive, it's way overplayed. Everyone's sick of it. No one wants to hear it again. But regardless of whether it was overplayed or not, it was without a doubt a fantastic, epic anthem, and just really done well. And they had a lot of other follow-ups too, like Radioactive is great, but in my mind, I'd almost say Demons might even be a step further. So yeah, that album, and honestly, I don't even know the name of the album. I just got it off iTunes and had all the things, but that album was really well done. So there's one song that sounds almost islandish, and I certainly didn't enjoy that nearly as much. And I think Island, it's hard to explain, because there's a lot that's wrong with me in explaining myself at the moment. So I'm just gonna look up. I didn't want to actually load that. I wanted to see what album I have, but apparently they're not. I don't see. On Top of the World. Yeah, that's the. I'm on top of the world. Hey, I'm on top. Yeah, no, that one wasn't any good. But Radioactive, fantastic. Tiptoe, okay. It's Time, love it. The timing in it is so different from typical songs, and yet just really works. Demons, I loved. And after Demons, it kind of like it's not that I don't enjoy them. It's just they don't have the anthem epicness that those first ones did. But between Radioactive, It's Time, Demons, and then their Monster, which they came out after the fact, those were all fantastic songs. So yeah, I'm a fan of Imagine Dragons. I know they've released an entire new album, and honestly, I haven't heard a thing off of it, so it could be. I'm a little nervous too. Like, I really liked them, so now I'm like, is it going to be any good? And I don't know, because I haven't listened to it, but it'd be kind of tough for them to. In my mind, it'll be a hard act to follow it and come up on. Sorry, I had chat in the background there. Needed to switch back out to fix it, because I'm full screen. Damn it. Let's see. So, Peanut. It's important to enunciate.
if you mush your words together, then people will think you've said things that you didn't actually say. So, peanut. Add your keys. That's something colloquially is a big thing here, just with the local dialect, is that T's come across as D's, or they're almost like apostrophes. A city near me is Layton, and growing up, everyone around me, it's Layton, and somewhere along the way I decided that, not that I was better or anything like that, but just that I wanted to be more clear and precise, so I started trying to kind of enunciate my T's and do that sort of thing a little bit more. Night Vision or Visions, yeah, that was the album, I think. I'm sure you killed me many times, and you know what, you should feel proud because I'm putting my full and undivided attention into my playing, and so you are seeing my absolute best and most focused. Also, none of that previous statement was true. But Amsterdam's okay. It's about half and half for me. There's certain elements to it that I enjoyed, and certain elements that I was kind of like meh. But it certainly wasn't a bad song. Fade away! So, he was a mighty peanut. You can't say the word penis without people thinking of parts. That's because it is one. But yeah, so, make sure that you enunciate properly. Moral of the story is just, speak clearly. Let yourself be heard. Do your thing, but, communicate clearly. And honestly, part of it's just that I, have a writing streak, obviously, in me. I'm not saying that I am a writer. When I was growing up, I did want to be an author, but kind of decided, I actually wanted a job that would pay me. But at any rate, I don't understand. It's strange for me, people who are okay to just kind of muddle through with what they type, considering how important electronic communication is, in this basically day and age or technological era. Just to me, there's simple grammar things that it's a way to make yourself not be judged or to be less, just come across as intelligent as people actually are, as opposed to like when they let themselves just, it's as simple as figuring out whether you're should have an apostrophe or not. Like, it's a contraction? Yeah, contraction. You are. If you don't have the apostrophe, then it's possessive. Your item. You are item. If you put the apostrophe, you apostrophe re item, you're sounding kind of silly. If you say you're going over there with y-o-u-r, you're saying, that's my going over there. You sound silly. And so it's like, I get that English isn't fun and no one likes learning, or English class isn't fun, and people don't like those lessons and stuff, but it's like, you're gonna type all your life, dude. Like, it's the world that we live in right now, so, figure out how to do it. It's not hard. Except for lay and lie. Again, still have no idea which one's the right one, whether you lay a pencil down or you lie a pencil down. No clue. So I should probably, practice what I preach and figure out what that one's supposed to be. But, yeah. There. That was actually literally, and I'm not saying it, I'm not saying it's what sold me to Chimulus and got me on the My Night team, but I did very specifically have a sentence crafted in my application where I correctly used all three variations of there as a place, there as a possessive group, and there as a contraction, they are. So I'm just saying, if you want to join My Night, kids, if that's something you think you'd want to do in life, might be what you're missing. Learn to use the right ones. Also, brush your teeth, stay in school, whatnot. Learning with seeing. Yeah, sorry about that. I get off on these tangents and then I'm just like babbling my ass off. Either don't enjoy the babblage, then sorry, it's probably not. You probably want to find another channel because I tend to do it a lot. Also, when I'm, trying to focus, I lean in and then I realize that I'm staring into my camera and it's staring at me and it's getting awkward for all of us, so try and avoid that, but sorry. Oh look, I lit all of you on fire. I just killed all 3 of you, and this is me doing a loop-de-loop before I score. Just saying. So, at any rate, what else is there? Any other questions? I actually just left the Skype call to watch this. Well, welcome. Must not have been a very interesting Skype call, but I'm happy to have you here, and it's kind of cool seeing more people here and having a little bit more chat with. I mean, I've enjoyed, Purple's been there since the beginning, and Hoovy and Deanna. Your name, man, it kills me. Hoovy and Diana. That's right. Been here. We've had several streams where you guys have kept me company, and I appreciate that. It's been nice for me. I've been lucky enough that, for the most part, if not completely, when I've been, as I've kind of started streaming and figuring it out and stuff, that I haven't had just empty streams, because that seems like tough. Like, I know, not that you need to have people, but it's I wouldn't know what to do in terms of, should I be talking and monologuing and dialoguing as if there were people here, or should I just be silent and stare, and then, when I know someone, like, oh hey, someone else, how's it going? I've managed to avoid that situation, and I appreciate that. I also decided that's actually why, not that it's necessary for, Tucker and Jordan and them, but I've decided that's why they have the startup screen, is to kind of give people a moment to get the notices that, hey, this is going out, or I'm starting up, and they can get on their phone, and if they feel like, for whatever reason, hopping on their computer or switching over and tuning in, give them that chance to, and it's convenient to them, but it also helps to ensure that the streamer has someone to talk to when they get in, because I don't know, like, maybe my perception's wrong, but it seems like streaming without people to talk to would be single player kind of, just playing the game, and I wouldn't want to talk to myself, and it would be kind of boring and pointless, and just a little bit lower frame rate because there's no one there. So, anyway, ow! He used a wall on me. That's cheating. Walls are cheating. I have a strong suspicion that Chip is purple. Yeah. I knew it. I knew it all along. So, at any rate, Captain Sparkanite. Hi, Captain Sparkanite. Way to bring people in. I've actually, I've kind of been avoiding, somewhat intentionally, somewhat unintentionally, trying to kind of avoid listing my Twitch in my Tumblr and Twitter to some extent, for a while, just because I wanted to respect the separation between Maya Knight and what I do outside of Maya Knight. But I don't know what specifically changed about my feelings or whatnot, but I just kind of, it's like, particularly since Maya Knight's not on right now, like, I don't feel like I'm competing with them. I don't feel like I'm taking it in from the streamers, and to me that's okay. I completely respect and understand and 100% am with Deck and the others and their feelings that, hey, look, we built this, we built our community, we built our audience, and so we don't want other people taking from it, and I get that. But I don't feel like, that's the case in this situation, so I'm not, like, trying to inject myself into Maya Knight as a player or saying, hey, you guys are all here for that, but, what's better than that is this other thing. Like, it's just, they're two separate things, and there's a little bit of crossover there because I happen to be connected to both of them. So, at any rate, especially with the server being down and there not being any mine at all, I feel like it's, it's okay. It's alright. I'm not hurting anyone, and certainly don't feel like I'm being disrespectful or anything, and that's important to me. Because, I do appreciate, certainly not, being enabled to wag levels, but appreciate that it's a certain amount of exposure and that it's an opportunity, not business-wise, because that's kind of the other thing to me that I feel like makes it a little more okay. Is just, I don't know if okay is the right word, but that is I'm not in this to make money. I just think it's fun, and I enjoy talking to the other fans, and having the opportunity to connect to people is what I see. Not just like it's kind of become in vogue right now to be like, I'm gonna make my living as a streamer or as a YouTuber, and it's a fun idea and it's a fun dream and that sort of thing. But the reality is that I have a career. I just missiled myself, literally missiled myself. But I have a career. I have, I've made it in the world already on my own without those things. So I do this because it's fun and I enjoy it. Hey, nice score. So, at any rate, moral of the story is, I kind of tried to specifically, while Mionite is down for upgrades and repairs, been a little bit more open about, this is what I'm doing and where I'm at and stuff. And if you're really interested in coming and finding me and hanging out and getting to know me, then sweet. And if you're not, then it's your choice, and I wouldn't blame you. I don't know that I'd necessarily be one to want to get to know me, because I don't really like me. I'm fine. I kid. I'm not too bad. But anyway, I think you guys know what I'm saying. I think belaboring the point. So, but yeah, it is important, definitely, that it be my own content. Like that's a very critical. I think the critical piece is it's not, I'm not logging on. My very first stream, I did a little bit of tech stuff, and I used the Mionite server and my test area. I didn't, I wasn't just in Mionite, and I wasn't like advertising on Twitch, like, hey, come see Mionite stuff. I'm Mionite, blah, 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 and repeating it repeatedly. That's right. Those were the words I was using. Yeah, bastard. That was a good shot, too. But, from that point, it's been about I'm doing other things. If I am going to do Minecraft streams, it's going to be a completely different show or different pack or what have you, and just be my own content and let people judge me based on what I'm doing and what I'm saying, not on coattails of what Tom and Jordan and Sonya and Tucker have built. Kind of leave Wag off because he's a little bit coattaily, but I mean he's contributing now. Don't get me wrong. He deserves to be there and all of that, but he definitely didn't have to work quite as hard as the other ones to kind of build up to what's going on there. So they've done their work. They've got their content. It's all them. It's great. I appreciate the opportunity to get to have fun with them and do my own thing, and that's kind of the separation in my mind. Let's read what's going on. Yeah, I mean, the reality is you can... And then, sorry, Purple, I had auto on to Dojo, so apparently I just popped over to Dojo to what appears to be the exact same map, or was the exact same map, so... But maybe there's an open spot and you can pop over. But, sorry, I just disappeared suddenly. At any rate, let's see, you can definitely, there's... you can definitely take away, and I think that, I have obviously strong feelings about, I don't know who... Give me a second, and I will collect my thoughts, and then I will complete one, and you'll be all like, holy shit, he communicated to me, that's amazing! But, I'm also involved in the Mionite subreddit, and, I learned about, not learned about Mionite, but got involved through the subreddit, and so that's definitely been a portion of where my time goes into. The Tumblr and Twitter kind of came after I had already started doing it, but the subreddit is much less, or has a very vocal group of people that don't like where Season 2's gone. That I mean, you're never going to make everyone happy, and that's just, it is what it is. But they're very passionate in their dislike, and that's cool to them. But anyway, where was I going with it? Oh. Yes. One of their big things is about how viewership is down for Season 2, and they insist that Mionite is dying and nearly dead, because of viewership levels, and I don't understand. To me, it's the amount of rationalization that kind of goes into coming to that conclusion is a little mind-boggling, because it's like, whether Mighty Knight's viewership is up or not, and you know, it's certainly had we don't have the exact numbers, and that's one of the things I just stand by, is we don't actually know. Like, you know, the streamers will know a lot better, but they don't publish their numbers. You know, all we have is the impressions of, wow, it seems like in Season 1 there were typically this many people in, and now there's not. And so, you know, for other people are jumping to the conclusion that it's like, now there's not, so obviously Mighty Knight's failing and it's about to go under. And that's about where it gets silly to me. But so I've kind of argued pretty passionately about how, you know, the numbers that people are using and the impressions they're getting from it is just, it's not realistic. Season 2's had a lot of things go really well for it that I felt like bring a lot to it, and kind of like I was discussing earlier, that it's had things that didn't work, and we've recognized and addressed that, and certainly there's still going to be other things and new ways to kind of screw up and to say, wow, that was not what we should have done, or we, at the very least, we could have presented that better, and you know, something went wrong, or hell, there's been events and interactions and things that it was just the streamers weren't in the right mood, and you can't control for that, you know, like. I can tell you pretty clearly watching him now. I've watched him enough to know whether Jordan's just in a bad mood, or Tucker, or whomever, and that can affect things pretty dramatically. But at the end of the day, there's been some pretty significant things to impact Season 2 that just weren't anyone's fault, and it frustrates me that people are reading so much into these perceived numbers, because it's like, you know, Season 2 hasn't had Tom. I mean, he's been there, sure, but the reality is, he is arguably, you know, depending on what numbers you want to go off of, either the biggest or the second biggest, you know, and equal to Jordan, draw and attraction to the show. And his family stuff has been going on so much that he just hasn't been there. And that's not a knock to him. It's certainly not like, I don't blame him in the least for putting his family first. Like, good on you and all that. But from a viewership standpoint, that's been like, to me, I think that's the single biggest thing affecting Season 2 numbers, is just one of the biggest streamers isn't there. And even when he is there, the reality is that you know, streaming and viewership is a big part of that is consistency, and just letting people know and trust that you're going to be there when they kind of expect you to. If you've set up a schedule, you know, right now I'm all over the place, and it's just, hey, if I'm on, and that's fine. I realize that it impacts my numbers, but if I tell people I'm going to be on every night at 9 p.m. and then I'm not, or just randomly, which is kind of what was happening. Again, not knocking him, just the way that life was playing out. People are going to stop checking, and they're going to stop logging on to kind of look for it, and your viewership goes down. It is what it is, and consequently, I think that, in my opinion, that's been one of the most critical and overlooked, certainly overlooked, and in my mind, most critical differentiations between the seasons, and that has impacted how many people have been there or whatever. And so it's really made it tough from a story standpoint. You know, we've had to do tons of delays and tons of adjusting and things because one of our key characters, or, you know, key players isn't there. So I think that there's certainly some, while I appreciate that they so passionately and vigorously dislike, you know, elements of Season 2 and want to pin every problem or every lost viewer on those elements that they don't care for, the reality is it's much more complex, and certainly there's been things we've screwed up and done to, you know, potentially impact viewership, but at the end of the day, there's just too many factors to really weigh in, and I think there's other much more critical and important things. So, at any rate, I think with the end of this, I'm going to start signing off, it sounds like something set my dog off downstairs, and I can hear that through the barking. I'm sure you guys can. So I appreciate you all coming, like I said, and it's been a lot of fun kind of seeing more faces and getting to know all of you and seeing the familiar ones as well. So, I again, if you like what's going on and you haven't, go ahead and follow. Otherwise, I'm really kind of starting to enjoy talking with you guys and getting our little group of merry men together. So I think that at some point I'm going to be setting up a regular schedule and trying to do this more predictably and more regularly, as well as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, looking into what other games and options I have to play and to kind of show. So, but at any rate, I think that's about it, and I hope that you all have a nice night, and I will catch you in the next one. So, see you all later.